Silverstone is the ultimate test now for Lando Norris and McLaren. Why? Simply because they have to make sure they've got a balanced car at slow, mid and high speed tracks. Now, we've been to Monaco, they were quick. We've been to Italy, they win there, they're quick. Now the last tick on the box is Silverstone. They have to. This is a high speed track. Now guys, it's very, very important to have a very well balanced car in motor racing in general. And this is the same for whether you're racing in karts all the way up to Formula 4, 3, 2, all the way up to Formula 1. It's a very, very important, well-balanced car. Because there's no point of going to a Monaco where it's slow speed and being really quick, and then going to Italy and winning. But then all of a sudden you rock up, take the car out of the back of the trailer, and then all of a sudden the car is not performing at a high-speed track, because there is quite a few tracks that are going to be high speed. I mean, classic example, Silverstone and Spa. They're just two of many tracks that are going to be high speed during the year. These are very, very important tracks, and they're going to have to make sure. Now, especially for Norris now, when let me just check the guys, in the championship right now, Max Verstappen is on 237. Lando in second on 156. That's almost 80 points clear that Verstappen is. That's a huge lead. That's 3 race wins in hand, and he still is in the lead of the championship. What do I mean? In other words, if Max Verstappen sat at home for the next 3 Grand Prix and he rocked up on the 4th next one, and Norris actually wins, he's still in the lead. So this is so goddamn important. Now, I know, guys, we've had ultimate drama there at Austria. That was unbelievable entertainment for us. Of course it was. But now this is it. Now we're hoping Max Verstappen's going to have a bit of bad luck here. He's going to have to get Norris back in the game. Or what else can they do? They can use Oscar Piastri now. These are the tools that they have available. Getting that car quick, first of all, and then using Oscar Piastri to slow him up, maybe have a, quote, crash with Verstappen, especially the way things went down in Austria. I wouldn't be surprised if Zach Brown said, you know, Oscar, if you get into a little pickle with Verstappen on the track, I wouldn't worry about it so much, okay? We're not going to slap your wrist, young fella. All right, now, I'm not saying McLaren and Zach Brown are dirty people. 100% I'm not, guys. But what happened at Austria, and, you know, I put it this way, Zach Brown won't be feeling guilty if something happens between Piastri and Verstappen on the track. Not a hope in hell. I've been around enough team bosses in my life to know this. I've been around enough mechanics and engineers, drivers to feel that way too, you know? Now, I'm not going to be saying, like I said, they're not going to be gunning, like torpedoing Verstappen in the first corner at Silverstone. I seriously doubt that. But if something comes up, they could have a little code word. So in other words, they're not going to say it on the radio, right? But for all we know, Zach Brown would say, hey, so go to level 2, Oscar. And level 2 could mean nothing on the car. It could just mean make yourself very, very wide there with Verstappen, okay? Because this is what they need to do to win the championship. Maximize now with Oscar Piastri. Oscar Piastri has to come into the game now and slow him up and take points away from Verstappen. It's their only chance. It's their only chance. And hopefully Lady Luck shines down on McLaren and actually Verstappen has a DNF, mechanical problem, a few times over, or he gets caught in an incident. Now, we've seen this, and before we close it off, guys, here's one thing. I did say before Austria that if they don't win the Austrian Grand Prix, they could start buckling under the pressure. And you know what, guys? We saw them start to buckle under the pressure here in Austria. Max Verstappen had to resort to driving Lando Norris off the track, okay? He couldn't even accept second position. The guy's got such a huge lead in the championship. There's no pressure on him. But yet, why would he make that risk? I know it's their home track and it's very, very important for them. But he was screwed. He was done. Okay? And he resorts getting a puncture, and Lando gets a puncture. Why? Because Verstappen lost his mind. It's not necessarily he's a dirty driver and he was calm in the car. He's a dirty driver, but he lost his mind in the car. That's what a lot of people aren't actually realizing here. And Red Bull, they started to buckle yesterday. Pit stop mistake. What was that about? Now, they still had the lead of the race, so they got away with it, but they don't make those type of mistakes. You know what I mean? Very bizarre, guys. And even Max Verstappen, when he did hit into Norris and the two collided, and then they got the puncture, what happens next? They're going into turn 5 with the two cars wrecked at this stage, and what does Verstappen do? He tries to even block Norris going through again when the two cars are out of commission. I mean, talk about insane desperation. So my point is, guys, closing this off, Silverstone's going to be very exciting, especially those first 2 laps. Those first couple of corners are incredibly important. They really just bunch up behind each other on each other's back end bumpers. So it's going to be so interesting. Hopefully they qualify first and second. Of course, we'll be back with more during the week. But Red Bull could start buckling under pressure here, guys. It's going to be so exciting.
Walsh running the Irish green, and look at the move he's making down to the inside.
Moves to the front from 5th all the way to the lead in lap 1.
Walsh takes win number 2.
Peter. Walsh.